Hello, welcome to Tarot and Oracle for the Soul. I am Sarah, and I will be doing a VR to Elizabeth's Bling Your Decks hashtag. I'm excited to do her first hashtag video, and Dezarey tagged me on it, so I will link their videos above here and down below. The first prompt is pearls, a deck that connects you to water. So I'm not a pearl, like, even though I'm a Gemini and pearls are my birthstone, I have a few pairs of pearl earrings, and I have this beautiful mother of pearl bracelet with this little charm on it that I absolutely love. I wear a lot of bracelets. I'm not really so much a necklace person. I mean, I am and I'm not. For the longest time, I only wore bracelets, and I really didn't wear pendants or anything like that. I'm wearing more necklaces and stuff, but I don't know, a pearl necklace seems not really my style, but this, yeah, I love it. So this is my pearl, and the deck I went with was the Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robertson, illustrated by Julie Dillon. Check out these beautiful backs. So I have quite a few Mermaid Tarot and Oracle decks, so it was difficult to choose. But the other decks I have, I mean, these are illustrations as well. I mean, obviously, the other decks seem more cartoony. These are, the artwork is just stunning. I absolutely love the artwork and the colors and the vibrancy. I love the cardstock. I love the size of the cards. So this mermaid deck for me is just really perfect. And it just absolutely connects me to water. I mean, look at this. This is just so fun with the sea turtles and the fish. And it's so beautiful. So I love the artwork of this deck, and you can see the movement of the water with the bubbles and the waves, and it's just, and his hair, the mermaid's hair floating, the attention to detail. Oh, like, look at this whale and the mermaid swimming with the whale. Like, it's just such a beautiful deck, and she's, you know, getting the net off of this beautiful whale, and it's just such, the images and the artwork and the book, like, phenomenal. So yeah, I would say this is my favorite mermaid tarot deck that I own. It's excellent. So that is my water deck. All right, so number 2, we have a choker. So anyone recognize this choker from the 90s? Yeah, so I had this choker for a very long time. I used to have one that was like kind of velvet, and it had like a, I think it actually had like a pearl. It was probably fake, and that was my favorite, but I don't have it for some reason anymore. But I still have this one. Even though I don't wear chokers really anymore, it's still beautiful. So the prompt is a deck that helps you claim your voice and honor your truth. No one's going to be surprised by this one. This will be the John Holland Psychic Tarot. I absolutely love this deck. It is amazing, and it helped me find my voice to be a tarot and oracle reader professionally and be confident in my readings. And when I read with people, they get chills, I get chills. It's always spot on. And it freaks people out, and I absolutely love that. I love it, I love it, I love it. And I love that we have chakra cards, And, you know, these can either be where people's strengths are or where there's weaknesses. And, you know, that's obviously where the intuition comes in and knowing and looking at all the cards around it. But I adore this deck, and I am so happy it is in my collection. And as you can see, the edges, since it's gilded, is kind of, you know, it's getting a little worn. You can see on the edges here, because I use this deck all the time. This is my workhorse deck. It helped me claim my voice. It helped me claim my personal power. And I'm just forever grateful for John Holland and even Hay House for producing this deck. It's phenomenal. All right, so number 3 is a tiara or headpiece. So I went with, I don't have a tiara. I had a tiara when back in 2004, I think it was. 2004, I don't know, sometime in the early 2000s, I dressed up for Halloween as Paris Hilton. So I bought just like a fake tiara. I don't have it anymore. Either I donated it or it just didn't make it in the move, but I don't have it. So I do have this, and this is the headpiece I wore to get married. My husband and I had a hand fasting ceremony. We special ordered handmade dresses from, I think it was the Ukraine. And I had to order a headdress, like this beautiful traditional headdress as well from the Ukraine. That unfortunately order never got fulfilled. I'm not sure what happened, but Nikolai had to cancel it. And we did that because my husband has ancestors from Russia and that part of the world. So we went with like traditional linen dresses that were white. He had a white top with red embroidery. It was beautiful. And I wear this. Since it's very pagan, it reminds me of, like I said, my hand fasting ceremony with my husband. I went with the Wheel of the Year Tarot because this deck is obviously a pagan deck. So it says a deck that helps you step into your queen energy. Like, look at this. I love this card. Oh, so beautiful. Or this one. So this deck, it's not like a queenly deck per se. As I say that, as I go to the Queen of Chalices and she has her beautiful high dress on. It's just a very pagan deck, and it reminds me of my headpiece on my hand fasting ceremony. And this deck is just so beautiful and colorful and vibrant. Like, look at this lovers card, and they're doing a hand fasting ceremony. I love the officiant is literally Mother Earth herself, and my husband and I got married at one of the most beautiful spots in Arizona. It's just I forgot what it's called, but it's absolutely beautiful. We were overlooking a lake, and unfortunately we tried to record it. We did record it, but it was so windy. The wind just overpowered us, so you couldn't really hear anything. But it was a beautiful, oh no, I got wax on my cards. It was just such a beautiful day besides the wind. And it was only my best friend and his husband, the officiant and her husband, and Nicola and I, and we didn't tell anybody else we were getting married. We eloped, and it was wonderful and magical, and it was so beautiful. So the next one is a cuff bracelet, a deck that helps you feel protected and helps you stay in your power. So I don't really like cuffs per se with the metal, but this cuff bracelet I do wear from time to time. I love black tourmaline, and as you all know, black tourmaline is a very protective stone. You can tell it's well loved. It's already chipped. That's unfortunately the problem with black tourmaline, is it does chip. I have a pair of black tourmaline earrings, and they're also chipping, but I know that it's doing its job protecting me. So I do love this bracelet. I just prefer like bracelets like this though. It's just something about the metal. But the protective deck I'm going with is the Making Magical Oracle by Priestess Moon. And this is chock full of symbols, magical symbols. So like we have safe and happy travels. And then in the book, it tells you like the ritual or the spell to do. And then to also, so like when we traveled cross country this summer, we photocopied this and we did the little ritual thing, and we had this in our car. I had this symbol in my purse, and my husband had this in his wallet, and it protected us for the first half of our trip. And the second half was when all shit hit the fan. But you know, things happen, right? So there's very protective symbols in here and spells, and it's just a very empowering deck. I don't use this as a oracle or as a like for daily draws. I just use this as, okay, what energies do I need to work with, and what am I feeling drawn to doing? Spell. So yeah, it's not really for you know, oracle draws or what have you, but like successful career, protection, here we go. That's what I was looking for. So strong protective magic for the family and the home. So yeah, these give you empowering things to do to protect yourself in your magic, your home, on your travels, what have you. All right. Next we have an anklet, a deck that makes you feel free, one that invites you to move your body and celebrate your sensuality. So I actually do have an anklet, and I haven't worn this in forever and a day. I've only worn it a few times, like when I used to go out dancing. But I don't know, maybe I should start wearing it again. I don't really go dancing. There's nowhere to dance around here, which makes me really sad. But anyway, that deck I'm choosing for that is Tarot of Hearts by Isabel Hayes. This deck is just the colors and the fact that it is about the arts. And there's movement. So this represents film, painting. I'm not sure if there is dance in here. So it says dance, music, drama, cinema, and storytelling. So yeah, this deck just speaks to creativity, and you know, creativity is attached to sensuality and being physical and taking inspiration from the ethers, and from the mind and from the intellect, and creating something from it. Creating music or dance or paintings or movies. So like this is a dancer. So yeah, I love this deck. It is so creative. and inspiring and like just an amazing, amazing deck. Next up, we have a charm bracelet, a deck that helps you tell your story, a deck that feels personal. All right, so the charm bracelet, I have actually 2 charm bracelets. This is like old school, right? So I have 2 of these that my mother started for me when I was a child back in the 80s. This has like all the places we've been, and the other charm bracelet has my soccer ball on it, and of course all the other places, because we've been, when I was growing up, we traveled a lot. I still travel a lot. I played soccer, I played lacrosse, I used to horseback ride. I did Western style. My cousins had horses and I was in 4-H myself. I always wanted a horse, but horses are so much work. It was easier to just go do 4-H and like shovel the manure there, and or go to my cousin's house and ride horses with them. We got my little Statue of Liberty for New York City, the Philadelphia Bell, Montreal, my 16th birthday. Let's see, Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee. We went to Mexico. Oh, this was when I was the maid of honor for my sister's wedding. So yeah, I've been to way more places than that, but that's what's on this one. I was trying to find the other charm bracelet that had my soccer ball and the other places I've been, but I couldn't find it. I went with the Millennial Tarot because even though I'm an Xennial, I could claim either one. I claim Millennial, and this is just such a fun pop culture deck. I enjoy pop culture decks. The creator of this deck is coming out with a Gen Z deck, and I am not sure if I'm gonna get it. I kind of want to, but I'm not sure. So I bought this before, like when it was on Etsy, before it was available on Amazon. Now he's selling them for a lot less, and I kind of wish I had waited, but you never know. I kind of want to get the Amazon version of this, the updated version, but I really don't need 2 copies. But yeah, the festival goer, I was really big into the EDM music scene when I was in college. I was definitely a candy kid. In school, we were taught how to recycle, and we were taught, all about like being stewards of the environment. Definitely binge watch. Like I do that. My husband won't allow me to binge watch anything anymore, and I was definitely influenced by, Gen X and like kind of the slacker culture and like coffee shops. I worked in a coffee shop as a teenager and through my 20s, and I loved working in a coffee shop. That was like my favorite job. Definitely also relate to this baddie. My first husband and I like had a motorcycle. I love riding on the back of a motorcycle. I kind of miss it, but it's dangerous. I've seen some pretty gnarly bike accidents, so I don't know. Get the teletherapist, social justice warrior, student loans, that was a thing. When I lived in LA, I really, really, really wanted to be a stylist or a backup dancer. Dancing was totally my life for a long time, but also fashion. I'm still really into clothes and makeup and all of that stuff. Yeah, and who doesn't have the Sunday scaries? I mean, I don't really have it anymore since I don't work on Mondays or Tuesdays. I thought about becoming a life coach for a while. I was really big into protests in college I definitely went to my fair share of protests, and I still do. Van life has really been calling me, but I am actually, I don't talk about this much, but I'm actually very claustrophobic. So when my friends have a van and they had me sit in the back while they were driving, I got so car sick, like so car sick. So I started just like freaking out, like having a panic attack. So I really don't think I could do van life as much as I would love to. House DJ, woo woo, woo woo, good times, throwback. Yeah, I love the nostalgia. And I'm definitely doing that fun employment right now, as you know, being a YouTuber and working at a thrift shop and being a tarot and oracle reader for sure. Tried doing like that, can't do it. Totally get the ick. I'm still waiting for this to happen. I would love to go viral. I don't know if that will happen, but maybe one day. Definitely girls trip is still on like my to-do list. Who hasn't ghosted somebody here or there? Hustle culture, squad goals. Definitely have made a vision board. I was doing really good on Instagram. I had close to 1,000 subscribers, but then I haven't been on Instagram and I lost on both accounts like quite a few subscribers. But with Instagram, just like YouTube, you have to post like 3 times a day. It takes a lot of time and energy. It's just a lot of work, and I was trying to stay off social media this year, and I did. I didn't go on any of like Fable or Goodreads. I logged into Instagram because one of my friends like that, she just spams me with memes and fun things like that. So I still had to, my husband and I have done that. Like, and of course, these things are not just like for millennials, like Gen X does this too, because my husband's Gen X, but so I've done really well, but I found myself like just bed rotting and like mindlessly scrolling shorts on YouTube, which is such a waste of time. Like it wasn't helping me with my own videos. It wasn't helping me be part of the tarot tube community. It wasn't helping me like promote myself. So I don't know, maybe next year I have to like, I really have to limit my YouTube as well, because it's just not good. I want to be more, I want more time to be actually creative or giving tarot and oracle readings, or you know, creating videos, or working, like actually making money and not just like consuming content, right? All right, so then we have cha-cha bracelet, one that brings brightness, playfulness, or a sense of celebration. So this is gonna be my cha-cha bracelet. This is a new bracelet that I just acquired from eBay. Used, like I'm really into buying like from eBay, since the thrift stores around here and the one I work at is like okay, but we don't have much jewelry. So this is like a cha-cha bracelet. And for that, I went with the cat tarot. This deck is just so playful and fun. These cats are so cute. And you have them playing and being sweet and sunbathing and being mischievous. And these cats are just, I love them. Like you want to just get in these pictures and play with these super cute cats. So thank you to my friend Kate, who purchased me this deck when I was first starting out on TarotTube. She bought this deck for me for my birthday, and like as a congratulations on being brave enough to do TarotTube and to do this. So this was just such a great birthday present, and she knows I love cats and tarot and that I was doing the channel, and she's been so supportive. She used to help me moderate when I would do live readings. And I really wish she would start her own channel. I know she gives readings to friends and family, and she's such a wonderful reader that this card cracks me up, that she would be a phenomenal tarot tuber. I have a video with her on my original channel. I will link that above. You guys can meet my friend Kate, who bought me this super fun and playful deck that I absolutely love, the Cat Tarot. I think it's like one of the most playful. I have other cat decks, but like this one is just, they are so playful and fun. Next we have prayer beads. Choose a deck that invites devotion. So where are my prayer beads? This is a set of prayer beads that I bought more recently. I wanted lapis beads, and I have other prayer beads, and I have, you know, malas, but Mother Mary is close to my heart. And even though I am a reformed, recovering Catholic, I still pray the rosary, even if I don't go to Mass anymore. Sometimes we go to Mass. Like we went to this beautiful church in Phoenix just because, you know, Catholic churches, the architecture and the design, like just so beautiful. And I always have to go get my holy water too. So I like to fill up my container for holy water. So the Catholic Church isn't totally gone from my life. There's still remnants of my old life, but yep, those are my prayer beads. And the deck that I went with is Lilith's Oracle. I use this deck. I actually used it as when I was doing a devotional to Lilith, and actually, unfortunately, I put this card up when I did my altar for Lilith and I spilled water on it. Oops. But yeah, this deck is just, you know, I got it to connect me to Lilith. I have a few Lilith decks. I have the Black Moon Lilith deck as well. But since I used this one in my actual like devotion, my, you know, altar to Lilith, I went with this deck. The Black Moon Lilith deck is wonderful as well. Next we have a statement piece. Choose a deck that makes you feel your boldest, one that commands attention. So my statement piece is this ring. I have so many statement pieces. My jewelry are, I like bold, I like funky pieces, so I could have picked anything, but I felt like this was very fitting. I bought this from a local artist in Phoenix. She creates such beautiful jewelry. I love how unique this is with the phases of the moon. And this is just such a beautiful piece. I mean, I could have picked this one. I got this ring in a fun boutique in DC when I was in college. Or I could have picked this one that I got in my travels. Yeah, I just really like big flashy jewelry. That's my Leo rising for you. I think I'm a Leo rising. I'm a Leo, so I have Leo placements, so that's why I like to be flashy. So that deck makes me feel the boldest is my Thoth deck. I would not be doing what I was doing today if it wasn't for the Thoth Tarot. This deck commands attention, it commands respect, it commands fear. I had to work through a lot of fear using this deck. I had to get over a lot of social conditioning. I had a lot of nightmares when I first started using this deck. It really pushed me to confront my fears about the occult, about the new age, about going down this path. And I think that it was really good that it forced me to confront my shadow, to confront my fears, to work through the fear and work through the like taboo-ness of this deck, especially how Christian I used to be. But I absolutely love this deck. This is the deck I learned on. This is the deck that started it all. This is the deck that really got me to step into my power. And I will be forever grateful for the Thoth deck. And I think the artwork is stunning. It's beautiful. It's bold. It definitely makes a statement. When people see this deck, this is, you know, the deck that it's kind of like the Ouija board. It kind of incites fear. And this is why I don't use this in my professional readings, because I live in a very Christian town and a tourist town. And a lot of the people who come to visit have never had tarot readings. They've never been exposed to it. And I don't want to scare them, because I was that scared Christian person before, and I want people to feel safe and comfortable. It's not, I don't feel like it's up to me to do that shadow work for people. I don't know, that's just my philosophy. But I love this deck, and I always will, and it commands respect, right? It's interesting. We were talking about alien hybrids yesterday, and you know how the aliens are among us, and one of my friends was like, she thinks that like at least 25% of the population is an alien hybrid. And I was telling them, I'm like, you know, it's actually really ironic that I ended up living in Roswell and surrounded by aliens. I'm like, because my first fear, like my total irrational fear as a child, wasn't like a monster under the bed. It was the ghost that haunted my room, but it was also the aliens. And I was like, I don't know how I knew about aliens. I wasn't allowed to watch TV. Everything was monitored. You know, my parents were very, very strict, but somehow I knew about aliens as a young child. Like, we're talking really young, like toddler, young, and even like 7, 8, 9. I was terrified of aliens. My biggest fear was being abducted. So I actually worked through my fear of aliens when I moved to Phoenix, and I met a lot of people who claimed, and I believe them, to be abducted. So I met a lot of abductees. I met alien hybrids, the gamut. And once you meet people who've been abducted, or experiencers, or claim to be hybrids, it's like, oh, well, they're just like me. And I got over my fear of aliens, basically. My adult brain understands that not all aliens are bad and not all aliens are good. And there's not like one species of aliens or race of aliens that's good and one that's bad. Like, they're just like human beings. There's good aliens and there's bad humans, just like there's good humans and bad humans, right? So my fear of aliens is gone. Next is antique jewelry, a deck that helps you reflect and feel connected. Sorry, I didn't necessarily write out all the prompts. I just kind of did keywords. My vintage piece is actually my grandmother's wedding ring and engagement ring. My mother gave this to me after I married my second husband. We didn't do engagement rings or wedding ring because my husband is very like sensitive to metal as well. And, you know, I kind of mentioned that earlier. I am as well a little bit, not as much as him, but I understand. Like, I worked food service like the first time I was married, and I couldn't wear my ring. So it probably would have been better if I had gotten a tattoo, but you know, it's probably good I didn't, because my husband and I, we got tattoos for our wedding rings. So it was nice of my mom to give me my grandmother's. I was very, very close to my grandmother. I love my grandmother so much. So it's really nice to have her engagement and a wedding ring. And I do wear this occasionally. I just don't wear it all the time because I don't want to lose this ring. It's just, it means too much to me. I went with the vintage oracle, and you know, this is like picture, you know, vintage pictures. And this deck, I use it, and a lot of people use it for ancestral work. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful deck. It's very feminine and soft. we've got like the kind of dull colors like you would have in actual old like photos or postcards or things like that. This deck is just absolutely beautiful. This is like one of my favorite cards. So yeah, how could I not pick this deck for the antique jewelry? And the bonus, number 11, is a locket, a deck that is close to your heart. All right, so this is my cha-cha and my locket. Since I literally just got this, I haven't even worn it yet. I don't have any photos in the lockets. I probably won't put any, but this one's big enough. I could probably find something, a photo to put in there. And it's cute, even these little ones open as well. So maybe like this one, I could put a picture of me and Nikolai, and then these little ones, I could put my pets. So yeah, for this one, I picked John Holland's other deck, and I also use this one as well. I work with both. I use the Psychic Heart and the Psychic Tarot, and sometimes I use both in one reading. I at first really loved the Psychic Tarot, but it kind of like stopped reading. I think it needed a rest, and now I've been using this one predominantly, even if it's not for a relationship reading. I actually find that it reads really, really well for career and business, which I find really, really interesting. So somebody will ask me like a relationship question, and sometimes I don't know if it's me or the cards or what the deck's like, I'm not answering that. And it tells me about like, you know, what's going on with their career or in their personal life or with their actual like extended family or their friends. It's interesting how that happens. How sometimes the cards are like, nope, I'm not answering relationship. I kind of am weird about relationship readings myself, so it could be me. I like that so many tarot tubers and tarot readers are just being blatantly honest. Like, if you have to ask about your relationship, it's a no-go. Like, you should know if somebody is into you. You should know. And like, we all know, like, or if you're married, you know what the issues are in your marriage, and you just need to have that conversation with your partner, whether you're married or not. Like, if you're going through something, like, just be adults and talk about it. You don't need to go get a tarot reading. And I don't use tarot reading to spy on other people. I don't use tarot readings to answer questions about other people in your life. That's just a hard no for me. So you know, for me, it's like, okay, well, what's going on in your life? And like, let's look at that. And like, maybe this is what's giving you issues, or, you know, maybe you're working too hard, or you need to change careers, or, you know, you're really strong and stable in your career, and people really like you, like, and know that. Because, you know, sometimes jobs, they take people for granted. And, you know, some bosses and some companies are not good at telling people like, hey, you did a good job. It's just a lot of like negativity and negative feedback. Even if the employee is excellent and like doing everything they're supposed to, and like, it's just built on negativity, which seems to be kind of the way it is in our culture and under capitalism. Because if you tell people they need to work harder or they're not good enough, or, you know, it's like push, 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 push. Let's extract as much resources from people as we can for the least amount of money. Like I know when I was working, I was doing the job of 3 or 4 people and getting paid for one. Uh, so, you know, my readings were often like, you need to set boundaries, you need to say no. And I just, it's really hard for me. It's taken me a very long time to learn. And I don't know if if I ever re-enter the workforce, office work especially, if I will be able to do that, because they do, like, the culture in offices is to put people down and make you feel as bad about yourself as possible so they can extract the most work from you. And I love that Gen Z is standing up and being like, no, you're not paying me to do XYZ. You're paying me to do A, B, and C. So I will just do A, B, and C. And a lot of older generations see that as being lazy, but it's like, no, that's not lazy. That's healthy boundaries. It just sucks that boomers taught Gen X and millennials to like work so hard. And especially since we get paid so little, like so little. And the benefits that used to be set up in society are not set up anymore. They're gone. So I don't know. But that is my deck closest to my heart. This was such a fun tag. It was fun getting my jewelry together. It was fun watching people's, I've watched Julia's and Mystic Man's VRs as well. So check out Elizabeth, her channel. She has the playlist with the responses, and join in. Anyone who wants to join in, please join in. This was such a fun tag. As always, everyone, have fun, keep on shuffling, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.